Hello everyone, how are you doing today? I thought I'd pop on and just share some of the themes that are coming up in my work. I'm going to blog about this, but I thought I'd introduce a topic to you here first. It's about life scripts. It's about the stories that we tell ourselves about our lives, about the quality of our lives, about our successes, our failures, our confidence, our self-belief or lack of those things. Those stories that we tell ourselves, whether it's quietly or confidently, they're strangely compelling. So I want to share some examples with you. In the autumn of last year, I was working with a sports professional, and the story that he was telling himself was, I'm really confident when my performance has been consistent. Now, he was on the back of inconsistent performance, so his confidence was down, and he was then a catch-22. How does he get his performance back on track on the sports field if he's in a consistent downward spiral? So he started to buy into this trap. Something else that he said about the story that he was telling himself every day when I asked him about what's getting in the way of you being in a peak performance state, being the best sportsman that you can be, he said, you know what, I'm focusing on everything that could go wrong in the match, everything that I could do wrong, and then I'm thinking about all these people judging me, and it's playing over and over and over in my mind. That was his life script. That was his story. Now, what we know about life scripts is that we arrive in the world as perfect human beings, and through life we acquire perceptions of ourselves, other people's perceptions of ourselves. We have life experiences that reinforce those perceptions, whether they are supportive or unsupportive perceptions. And over time we build a bit of a fixed story in our head about who we are and how we are in the world, and what we can and can't do, what we can and can't accomplish. Now, the thing I want to say here is these are actually stories. And they're not true, but we act as if they're true. They are thoughts, they are energy, but they're not fact. And sometimes we act as if they're fact. Not consciously, not deliberately, they just seem to get a hold. They seem to come in under the radar, and all of a sudden they're impacting on our confidence, on our self-belief, on what we think we can do. Another example is a client that I had very recently. She's so self-aware, she's fantastic. And she said, you know what I'm excellent at, Ailey? I'm excellent at scaring myself out of doing things that I really want to do. I let fear get in the way of my success. And she said, you know what? I'm actually awesome at freaking myself out. If only I could spin the story a different way. And our conversation went along the lines of, well, you can write the story a different way. How you do that is begin to become aware of the negative one that's running, that's got a hold, accept that it's a generalization, it's a myth, it's a fiction, it's not true, and rewrite it. Now, that might fall into the realms of affirmation, making positive, encouraging statements about yourself. But what we know now from applied neuroscience is that the more we start to change the story, the more we focus on turning our hopes, our wishes and dreams into reality by focusing on creating them, instead of putting our focus on all the things that scare us, frighten us, worry us, undermine our confidence, self-belief and self-worth. When we put our focus on what we do want, we begin to hardwire the development of our own self-belief, the development of our own motivation, and all of a sudden it becomes easier to take baby steps or giant leaps in the direction you want to go. So that's a little bit of an introduction to you about life scripts, the stories that we tell ourselves and how compelling they are. So I'd like you to think about the story that you're telling yourself just now. Is it a positive, purposeful, useful one? Is it something else? And if it's something else, be your own spin doctor, change the story, write a script that is more attuned to who you really are and who you really want to be. See yourself through the eyes of somebody who loves you unconditionally and supports you and believes in you, and then you'll be able to take the first steps in writing this new script. Now it's exam time for teenagers all across the country, and as a mum of teenagers, I am hearing the negative stories, the scripts that the youngsters around me are buying into. Particular subjects are really hard, there's too much pressure, I'll never get it all done, oh my goodness, I'm going to panic and faint. It starts to become quite dramatic in these young people's minds, and they buy into that as if it's real. So part of our work, if you work with young people, if you're a parent like myself, and there's a really stressed youngster around you, is to slow them down, separate the facts from the fiction. What are the facts? You have time now to study. Take good breaks. What are the fictions? You'll never get it done. You're a failure. You'll never succeed. I'm working with a school just now, and there are some elementary school, really young kids, and some of them there that absolutely say, well, I don't fit in, I don't have any friends. These life scripts are forming really at a young age. So my work is to go in there and change the story and help these people develop a pathway and find the skills and self-belief to develop a pathway that moves them forward constructively. So back to my invitation to you. What's the story you're telling yourself about your business, about your career, about your relationships, about your health, about your ability to cope and strive in the world? Be honest with yourself. If those stories aren't supportive, write a new one. And from there, you will reveal the first step to a new direction and a new story, one that is worth buying into. Okay? Bye for now. It's been really good chatting to you. See ya.